tight ends have the most fun on the football field, that we bring the most joy to the game. I mean, you see George Kittle play. You see Travis Kelce play. Myself playing. Every time, Jules, you talk about, oh, Rob would catch a ball up the middle, and he'd be laughing and grinning.
He would.
And yes, there we go. See, there's evidence. I'm not lying here, folks. There's evidence to this proof that we have the best personalities as well.
Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. I'm Julian Edelman.
And I'm Rob Gronkowski.
And this is the show where your favorite dudes get to talk about their favorite dudes.
And this is a special week, not just for myself, but many of my fellow co-workers out there. It's National Tight Ends Day, everybody. The best holiday in the world.
And what are we talking about?
Well, of course, we're talking about one of the best tight ends of all time, Antonio Gates.
And then we get into talking a badass tight end turned head coach.
Yes, and then we talk about my favorite young stud tight end in the NFL right now. And here's a hint, he's a rookie. And then we wrap it up by answering detailed questions about the tight end position in the Chillest Dude of the Week, presented by Coors Light. And let me tell you, these answers I'm going to be giving about the tight end position, they're spot on. You're going to want to know. Tune in. Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. Hey, Jules, what's up, brother? You know what the week is, baby. Come on, tell everybody.
What week is it, Rob?
No, yeah, I want you to tell everybody.
Happy National Tight Ends Day.
Thank you, Jules.
Week.
That's right. Shout out to all the tight ends out there. Oh, shout out to George Kittle as well, because he's the one who created Happy National Tight Ends Day, which I'm pretty sure it was him, right?
Yeah.
He started Tight End U, and he also started National Tight Ends Day.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, George, for representing us tight ends and doing all the things you can do for us tight ends as well, and being a complete tight end out there as well. How are you celebrating this holiday, Jules?
I don't celebrate this holiday.
You do. Come on, you love tight ends.
I'm the Jew on Christmas here.
Hey, no.
Okay,
no,
I am not.
know.
I'm not a tight end.
You love tight ends. I
love tight ends.
I see you always checking my tight end out, Jules.
I do like tight ends because I like tight end. I had the best tight end of all time. Got to play with him. He opened me up. So I love tight ends, but I'm not a tight end. I'm not celebrating it. How are you celebrating it?
Oh, I'll be on the couch, actually. I'm off on Fox this weekend, so I'll be on the couch, and I'll be Gronk spiking something every single time a tight end scores this Sunday.
I love you grading the Gronk spike.
It's
also on Fox now.
Me too, and I think it's going to become a thing now, and it's going to become a tradition. I kind of just graded one out of nowhere when I was on 2 weeks ago, and then this week coming up, they're like, yo, let's do some Gronk spike ratings. They have the Gronk spike scale rating. I
see the scale
on the screen, and it was one of the coolest, little segments I think I've ever done on TV before, and hopefully it becomes something bigger every single week.
So all you little kids out there, when you score your touchdowns on their highlights that you're sending in for our T-Mobile stuff, if we're still doing all that stuff, just throw a good Gronk spike and you'll get Gronk rated. All right? Let's talk these dudes.
Let's get into it, baby.
National History Day or whatever it is. AI Synopsis on who?
Oh,
Rob?
Yeah. Well, let me also tell you, if it's National Tight End Week, I'm celebrating by only talking tight ends here on Dudes this week as well. So let's get on to the AI summary of our first tight end that we will be talking about.
First tight end.
Oh, all right. Standing at 6'4" and 255 pounds, this undrafted tight end from Kent State. Oh, woo! Jules, did you hear that?
I heard that.
Kent State. That's where you went to school.
I went to school at Kent.
Yeah, too bad you didn't play basketball. Where he played basketball. Where this guy played basketball.
Oh, he did play basketball.
Not football. Not football, Jules. He played basketball only at Kent State. That's what you should have done.
All right.
Maybe you could have got some more recognition there then.
Maybe.
Yeah, because this dude represents Kent State, and he didn't even play football there. Yeah, he represents the football program there too, and played basketball. Oh, sorry, Jules. I'm just digging into you now. It's National Tight Ends Week. I'm allowed to say anything I want.
Let's go tight end.
All right. Because he became an 8-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, and a Hall of Famer. He played his entire 16-year career for the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers, that is, where they still should be, and holds the NFL record for most touchdown receptions by tight end. That's rude of him. He holds the record, Joel.
He holds the record.
I wanted that record.
He wanted it.
But too bad I couldn't get that record. And he truly deserves it because he has 116 touchdowns.
116.
And I don't think it would ever be broken by a tight end. No current tight end I don't see breaking it. No.
You know what? I wouldn't say that.
Why? Who's going to break it? 116
we'll get
touchdowns.
into it. Go ahead.
All right, let's get on Antonio Gates. Jules, what's the first thing you think of Antonio Gates besides him going to Kent State, where that's your alma mater?
Revolutionary.
Yes, good point.
That's the first thing. I mean, there's been guys that played basketball and football that went to the league. Tony Gonzalez, right?
Yes.
But this guy didn't even play any football, and I heard the story because we did a show recently together. He went to Michigan State to play with Saban and basketball. Something went down. He went to Kent State, was going to play football, but he loved basketball, and they went to the Elite Eight and shit, and he was doing crazy things. Never played football, and then got drafted, or then went to the NFL and became legendary. Like, that's revolutionary to me. And it was so fun to pick his brain on how he used to run routes. He ran routes like he was playing basketball.
Yeah, he sure did, and that's
what he would say.
What made him so great is that he took those basketball skills and he translated it onto the football field. That's kind of what got him open. Like, he was just so smooth with it at top of the route that a defender didn't know which way he was going. It was like he was dribbling the ball as a point guard 10 yards onto the route, and then boom, you wouldn't know what way he was breaking because he was so smooth with his route, and he was so shifty with his routes. That's what got him opened so much in the passing game as a tight end. And I got to give him credit. He was a very solid blocker.
He was.
For never even playing the game of football. Like, did he play in high school? Did he play ball?
He played in high school.
No, he played football in high school.
But he also, he told me when he first got to the Chargers, he didn't even get a chance to sniff the pass game. They made him a blocking tight end first. Like, that was how he got his reps to becoming Antonio Gates. But go back. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah. Okay. That actually explained a lot, because I was going to say, usually a guy that is coming from, the football, the basketball side.
Finesse guy.
Yeah, they're finesse. Like, they make people miss. They don't want to run through anybody. They don't want to get dirty in the trenches. Well, Antonio Gates was there to get dirty and block in the run game. And he had that football mentality, which is very impressive because he played basketball in college and not football. Because in order to be a football player, you got to have that mentality of just being off a little bit. You got to have a screw loose. Yeah. Every football player does. I mean, we're not here to say we're scientists and surgeons and all. And some
maybe Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
he's a doctor scientist.
He's a dinosaur scientist.
Oh, yeah, dinosaur doctor.
And the safety that went to Florida State, he's a well-known doctor as well. Roll, was it? Myron Roll, right?
Antoine Roll?
Yeah, Antoine Roll, something like that. He played safety, then retired.
But we're not doctors.
Well, we're not. Majority of us, 98% of us, aren't doctors and scientists and geniuses. Well, I'm a genius, and in different ways. You are too, Jules. But this guy had elite athleticism, Antonio Gates. Red zone threat, obviously he has 116 touchdowns, and everyone said I was a red zone threat. This guy was a freaking red zone threat. I can tell you that. Great ball skills, great hands. And I would attribute that also why he was so good in the red zone, because it's a tight niche area. And in basketball, you got to go get a rebound. Everyone's right there. You got to box out. You got to use your body. And that's how you score touchdowns in the red zone. That's why I was great there. That's why Antonio Gates was great, because you use your body when you got size over these defenders, and you got to go up and grab that ball like it's a rebound. And Antonio Gates sure did that.
You know what? He's like a perfect storm of the basketball player that came to football, because in basketball, he was undersized. Yes. He's 6'4", but if you watch him at Kent State, he was banging with like the 6'10" dudes, and he was a power motherfucking forward that was physical, that was athletic as fuck on the court. So he was always undersized in basketball. When he got to the league, he was always bigger than everyone. You know what I mean? But he played with that undersized mentality from basketball when he was like big with people, and it translated unbelievably to the football field. I mean, he's some of the inspiration we got with you. I remember specifically when we used to put you out and extend you from the formation. That was because of Antonio Gates. They used to do that with him. And then when teams would freaking gunner you, they used to gunner Antonio Gates, like when they put him in the red area. That's how elite he was, and he's a very cool dude from Detroit, Michigan, and the stories about him on campus, like as a basketball player, were just elite. I mean, that's half the reason why I went to Kent State is because I heard about them like 2 years before when he brought them to the Elite Eight. I was like, who the fuck is this small school? And then I was getting recruited by Kent. I was like, oh, that team that made the crazy run with that insane basketball player, that Antonio Gates guy, who was already a baller in the league by then. Like, it's a crazy story. Certifiable Hall of Famer.
No doubt about this. And this says something about basketball players and tight ends, because the guy that's number 2 on the list for most touchdowns as a tight end as well isn't me, Jules. Isn't me. It's Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Tony Gonzalez has 111 all-time TDs.
Wow.
Basketball player as well at California,
Bodies.
right? Yes, at California. He knew how to transfer his basketball skills to the football field as well. And then we got other players as well. Jimmy Graham didn't play college football. Well, he did actually, I think, 1 year at the University of Miami, but I don't even think he played in high school. Then his game transferred into the NFL. He knew how to use that basketball skill set and become dominant on the football field. So these guys, the top tight ends to score touchdowns, in the NFL of all time, all played basketball, including myself. That's why I always tell these kids, hey, parents ask me, hey, should my son just concentrate on a sport in high school and middle school? No, absolutely not. Play as many sports as you can possibly play, because you learn the different skill sets of these other sports that can transfer to the other sport that you want to really focus on once you get to college. And also, it's not just about the skill sets. It's about the nature of the sport. It's about ethnicity of other players, in other sports, and how to work together as a team and come together as a team. So play as many sports as possible. It will all transfer and translate to life, eventually. So kids, do it all. You don't got to focus on a sport. Yes, once you get to college, do that, focus on one, but play it all as a kid.
Yeah, the specialization of the kids right now, for one sport, it really does. It doesn't. When you play other sports, I feel like it opens up different parts of your brain, and you gain different techniques from different sports that translate subconsciously to the one sport that you pick.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what Antonio Gates did.
Exactly.
He had 955 receptions, 11,000 yards, 841 yards. Only trails Witten, Kelsey, and Gonzalez
for yards by a tight end.
For yards by a tight end.
And shout out to Antonio Gates as well. Just went to the Hall of Fame this
Shout him
year.
out.
I mean, he probably should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. What was he, second
He was
or
first.
third?
Second?
Yeah, he was second. I mean, we'll just say he was a first, because he deserved to be a first, but he deserves every single honor that he gets, and I appreciate him. He was a role model growing up for myself. I appreciate what he did for the tight end position. I wouldn't be where I'm at as a player if it wasn't for the guys before me, and Antonio Gates was one of those guys before me that set that standard.
He's got a really cool voice too. Like when you talk to him, it sounds like he'll explain something and it sounds like it's a movie background. You know what I mean? Like, hey, like he's smooth, Jules. Like I don't know. He's got these voice inflections and shit. He's just cool. I remember the first time I met him.
Cool cat.
Yeah, we went out. We played him in, what was it, 13 or 14? The year we went and won the Super Bowl, right? Where we stayed out there. Remember we went and stayed out there?
Yes, we did. And you had the 69-yard reception touchdown to win the game. And I said it in the huddle. I was like, Jules, 69 yards. We got to score. And you did.
I think I said, Gronk, it's perfect time for your 69 yard.
Yeah, and then you scored it.
Then I scored.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Well,
we were literally talked about it
that's
before.
Being situational aware of the situation. And that's why you scored it, because you were aware of the down and distance we had to go to get to the, to get a touchdown. Well, so you deserve that touchdown. I was proud of you. And that was to win the game.
That was a fun one.
That was
cool in front of the fans or friends and family. You know what I mean? All the California people. But I saw him after that game. I got to meet him for the first time. And it was at night in San Diego. And I just remember he had like some cool, like A-frame, big ass, like black sunglasses on. He had some big ass chains. He had like a white t-shirt. Walking out, and I was like, yo, AG, Antonio. He's like, hey, man, good game, little Edelman. Or he said something like that to me. And that was like my first experience with him.
Yeah, he's cool as shit. I met him real quick at a FanDuel event at the Super Bowl. And it was just cool that I finally got to give him his props in person, man.
Yeah.
Tell him I always looked up to him. But it was a real quick, intervention, real quick meeting. But he just seems cool as heck, man. Love Antonio Gates.
1,000% time. What kind of dude is Antonio Gates?
Oh, is he a stud? Is he a freak, dog, whiz, dude? I mean, he's a lot of it. And there's one thing about him is that how thick he is, too, as a football player. Like, that's probably why he was so good at basketball, because he could box out defenders, but how strong his legs were and how thick he was. You don't see basketball players that thick. So that's why it probably translated to being a tight end as well, and being a dominant blocker.
I think one of them, I mean, his road alone, or is he a whiz?
I mean, you got to be a whiz in order to pick the game back up that quick, and understand, there's more that goes into the game of football. You got to understand awareness of where everyone is. You got to understand plays, where the defense is situated and all that. So you got to be very smart. He picked it up
didn't
quick.
play college football.
No, he didn't.
He came in and he fucking took he was young, like as an undrafted guy, and like came in like that and made plays.
And he was innovative. Like, he really was. He innovated the position, the tight end position, and he was very clutch in many moments. And what makes him smart too is at the end of his career, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like, he didn't look like he could move that well. But the guy was so smart that he could get into situations where he would get open still, because he understood the defense and the coverage, and he would just sit, and then boom, he would just get a pass fed to him, and then he would go out, they put the other tight end in, and then he would come back in, and every time he's in,
Knew how to use his body.
he knew how to use that body. He was just so smart with it.
And on three, what is he?
He's
1, 2, 3, whiz. He's got to be. It's so remarkable that this guy didn't play it down in college, and then literally was getting gunners. He was getting a gunner set. And what a gunner set is, on punt, you usually have 2 guys on the gunner to block for punt. Well, they were doing that to Antonio Gates in his prime at the red area, which they used to do with Gronk as well. Like, that's crazy. That's a whiz. He was revolutionary. Hey, man, Tony Gonzalez. Fantasy football season is back, and building a league-winning roster shouldn't keep you up all night. Your team might be one waiver wire pick away from complete domination, or one injury away from utter disaster. You can lose sleep over it, or you can put those worries to bed with Unisom. Unisom helps you fall asleep faster, wake up less, and feel refreshed in the morning. It's the #1 doctor and pharmacist recommended over-the-counter sleep aid brand. Unisom and I also have you covered on the fantasy front. Check out my socials and the episode description for my Unisom sleeper picks to learn which sleeper you'll want to stash on your roster to help you bring home the championship. And be sure to pick up Unisom too. Use as directed. Sponsored by Row. You know football players are always ready, whether it's game time or other times. That's the idea behind Rose Sparks, a prescription treatment that's built to help you be your best when it counts the most. See if you qualify at row.co/sparks. Rose Sparks features a dual action formula that includes tadalafil. Basically, you're getting the good stuff. The best part, they dissolve under your tongue, so they hit your bloodstream faster and work sooner, in 15 minutes on average after the medication dissolves. Rose Sparks helps guys get harder with bigger, thicker erections and have more control in bed. That translates into more satisfaction for their partners. Plus, thanks to the dual action formula, you can now be ready for up to 36 hours. That's a whole weekend, my friend. Just complete an online visit with the healthcare provider to see if it's right for you. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off on your first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with the provider at road.co/dudes to find out if prescription rose sparks are right for you. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For safety information, go to row.co/safety info.
Hi, this is Gronk from Dudes on Dudes, and talk about a perfect partnership. I'm here to tell you about protecting your end zone with Dude Wipes. If you're still wiping with toilet paper, you need to listen up. Dude Wipes are a wet, extra large flushable wipe that leave nothing behind in your behind. Because they are wet, and we all know wetter cleans better. Unlike dry wiping with toilet paper, Dude Wipes clear instead of smear. Goodbye dingleberries. Goodbye itch and irritation. Plus, if you take Gronk-sized grumpies, or as I like to call them, Gronkies, baby wipes won't do. You need extra big Dude Wipes to handle the job. And they come in different scents and pack sizes, including a single-use, on-the-go pack that you can take wherever you go for that home field advantage. So don't fumble the ball with toilet paper. Stop being an a-hole to your b-hole and start using Dude Wipes. Available on Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes, best clean, pants down.
All right, let's get on to the next guy.
All right, let's get on to it. All right.
AI, what's the AI summary?
Here we go. Let's see who we got here. We just did Antonio Gates, legend, Hall of Famer, still known to this day. And now let's see who this guy is. Hopefully people know who this guy is as well.
Let's
you
see.
know,
What's
it's
AI's
gonna be tough to top Antonio Gates. So let's see how this guy can possibly top Gates. Standing at 6'5" and 265 pounds, that's a big size. That's a big size tight end right there. This former tight end was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1999 draft out of Texas A&M. He's known for his toughness and leadership abilities. Growing up in Texas, he starred at Glen Rose High School, earning all district honors and a reputation for his grittiness. Oh, you think he did the gritty in 1999? Yeah, no, it wasn't around yet, but he had grittiness. In 2010, he transitioned into coaching and is known for his motivational speeches and aggressive play calling. In 2021, he was hired as the head coach of the Detroit Lions. Let's get on Dan Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Dan Campbell.
Oh, Dan Campbell. I was saying, can he compare to Antonio Gates? You know, with the name out there still played back in the day? And he sure does, but in a whole different style now. You know, he's not no Antonio Gates as a player, but his toughness and his wizardness of how smart of a football player is has transferred into the next stage of his life, and his name is still very valuable because he is now the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and his legacy lives on. These tight ends are just so great. I love going over tight ends. It's National Tight End Week. Everyone just appreciate the position. Don't even look at wide receivers this week. Don't look at running backs. Don't even look at quarterbacks. It's all about the tight ends, baby.
I never knew of him as a player.
Nah, me neither.
I didn't.
But
he played what? He played a long ass time, so he had to have something. If you look at his stats, he had 91 receptions, 934 yards, 11 touchdowns, which tells you he must have been elite in the run game.
Yes.
Tough
as nails. You can tell the way that he coaches the Detroit Lions and that energy he brings to the table and that toughness, you know, the toughness manner that he brings to that team and the mindset. That's how he played as a player. And I didn't hear about him as a player either, but I went back to watch his highlight film, and I just love the way that he represents himself on the field. When he gets that ball, it's just full go. You know, it's hard to tackle him. He's just bouncing off of guys. He's just trying to make plays. He's excited. He's bringing energy to the team. He must have been a heck of a blocker as well, because he played 10 years in the NFL, bounced on a couple teams, but the grittiness that he brought as a player was unmatched. He would be a great compliment if it was like him and I on the field. I would love to have a dude that was behind me just bringing juice and getting me going.
Yeah, I mean, something to be said about a guy that doesn't have crazy stats. And if you watched how he played, it looked like he was like having the time of his life no matter what the team asked him to do.
Yes.
And that's how he coaches. And I think that's why a lot of guys resonate towards him, because he's an ultra team first kind of guy. Everyone knows their role. He knew his role as a player. If everyone has their role and everyone takes pride in their role, that's how you have good teams. And that's what they've developed over there in Detroit. Came from he was coached by Parcells with the Cowboys. He came from Sean Payton's coaching tree, so he's got toughness, old school coaching in his background. And if those guys loved him, you knew that he was probably a really good team guy.
Locker room guy.
For sure.
Yeah, as a player and a coach, obviously. Locker room guy, grinder, great size, good blocker, tough in the run game. That's kind of like his scouting report as a player, just tough as nails. It's kind of like the mentality that he's bringing to Detroit as well as the head coach. And then the scouting report, I mean, he's kind of amped it up, actually. He had brought great energy as a player, but I think he even took it to a whole nother level as a coach. He's intense, authentic. That's what I really love about him is that the stuff that he's doing, it's not for show. It's because it's him.
Yeah.
And that's why it's working. And that's why he
Authentic.
got authenticity is everything, Jules, to a lot of things. And that's why Detroit is kind of where Detroit is now, because he's so authentic in his approach and how he wants to run the team and how he wants to coach the team. Very passionate, very aggressive. And it's not like he's being aggressive because people are telling him. It's because it's authentic once again, and he wants to be aggressive. And also, he's a hard knocks legend, man. He brought all that entertainment, not just in the meeting rooms, but he let everyone see it in public eyes on Hard Knocks.
He definitely eats, breathes, sleeps football. You can tell that. And that's what you want to see from your fucking coach. You know, it's real. The team, it's been so fun to watch the Detroit Lions since he became the head coach. And it started out terribly. So, like, for people like Aaron Glenn and the Jets, if you can get that culture established, which, you know, the Jets are a long way from that, but I'm just saying, like, it takes time for things to happen. And thank God Detroit gave him the time, and the team fed off him through those first couple years. I think they started like 0-9 or something. He didn't win a game for a long time. 0-16.
No. He was on the 0-16 team when he was playing as a player with the Detroit Lions. And then he became the head coach eventually a couple of years later. And then I think they went like 1-15 or 2-14 or something. So
yeah,
he's been through the darkest days of the Lions franchise. So how much do you think he has learned on how to bounce back from such a program being so low to now being where it is? I mean, he's probably learned so many tricks and traits to grind out of that hole to become, you know, a good franchise.
I think being in those situations as a player definitely helped him.
Player and coach.
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that, you know, him being with Sean Payton and learning real coaching, him being coached by, you know, Coach Parcells, and then him experiencing the loss, he's seen what good is and he's seen what real is. And so to be in that situation, I think it was like the perfect storm for Dan Campbell, which, you know, from that opening day press conference, you know, when he said he was going to take people's knees out, when he goes, what is it? We're going to kick you in. We're going to kick you in the teeth. And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off. Like, that was, looking back now, you're like, yeah, that's Dan Campbell. But from that point on, people didn't take him serious. And it's been real fun to watch him prove a lot of people wrong with the narrative that he went into with starting his career and where they are now.
Well, whenever someone comes in with a new mindset that's never really been seen before, and I'm talking about anything in life, like any aspect, any business, any category of life where it's something new and different, you know, people always doubt it because you have absolutely no clue if it's going to work. Sometimes it tanks tremendously. And in order to prove everyone wrong, you have to be right. You know, and get to where you need to get to get those doubters to be believers. And that's what Dan Campbell did with his approach and his aggressiveness being with the Detroit Lions. Like, everyone's a believer now. Like, hey, it's 4th down. Let's go for it. It's Dan Campbell. Before, everyone was questioning him. Hey, should they go for it? He's taking too many risks. He may be still taking too many risks in some situations, but that's just him. But everyone's like, let's do it. Let's do it. We love this approach. It works. We were 0-16 at one time. Like, this guy, we got 14 wins this season. We're all in. Let's go for it. Let's take the risks.
How about his Starbucks order?
Ridiculous.
Two venti Starbucks Pike Place coffees, each with 2 shots of espressos, and approximately 1,100 milligrams of caffeine. I think that's right before his 8 o'clock meeting.
I just don't know what to say about that. Like, if I was on 1,000 milligrams,
he probably
of
sweats
caffeine,
a lot.
Yeah, he must love saunas just to sweat it out.
No,
so
he just sweats because he's got so many stimulants.
Yeah.
Because I sweat a lot if I drink a lot of coffee and I throw in a cha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's he sweats.
That's serious. I don't know what would happen if I had 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. I mean, my max is like 400.
What's your coffee order usually?
Like, just a small hot black coffee.
Yeah, I like black coffee too. I like nitro. I'll go like a cold brew.
Oh, nitro cold brew when you really need to get going. Oh, yeah, delicious.
I don't think it tastes great. I just like to get the caffeine through coffee.
Yeah. No, it never will taste great when it's just straight black.
Do you think he got super sad when the NFL wouldn't provide smelling salts anymore?
He was probably the main reason why the NFL came back out and was like, actually, you are allowed to have smelling salts. We're just not allowed to provide them.
Yeah.
He might have been one of the guys behind it.
Damn, brother. What's his voice? Is he going to bring a Super Bowl to Detroit?
I hope so, man. I think Detroit deserves a Super Bowl. I mean, Detroit, the thing is, man, with them, like, you can't hate on them. Last year, there wasn't a team or there wasn't a fan that I know of a team where they're not fans of Detroit, where they hated on Detroit. No one did. Everyone was cheering for Detroit. If their team was out, didn't make the playoffs, everyone was like, hey, Detroit Lions, I want to see them win it. Dan Campbell, everyone's a fan of. Detroit's never won a Super Bowl. They never been to a Super Bowl, so I was cheering for them last year. Unfortunately, they had so many injuries that it's tough to win a Super Bowl in playoff games when you got, 12 starters out. I mean, it's just reality. I mean, usually the healthiest team wins in the end. Healthiest and best team wins. So I think he possibly does bring a Super Bowl. I think he does. I want him to bring a Super Bowl to Detroit. That would be cool to see.
That would be cool. I'm in the same boat with you. Hopefully they can get one here. I think that'd be great for the league.
It would be great for the league. It would be great for Eminem, and it would be great for Detroit,
and
the city of Detroit, and Ford cars. Yeah.
Mrs. Ford. I got to meet Mrs. Ford was like really cool.
A lot of Ford F-150s would be sold.
We going F-150.
Yeah.
All right. What kind of dude is Dan Campbell? Time is up.
Yes. What kind of dude is he? Oh man, he's not a stud. I mean, he is in a way.
He's studly.
He's studly, but he's too manly to be a stud.
He's too manly.
Like, he's too aggressive. Like, he's not smooth enough. He's smooth, but he's
too masculine.
Yeah, he's too blocky smooth. Like studs. Like you're cool. Like you're wearing cool clothes. Like, this dude will put on whatever. He'll put on whatever t-shirt and shorts are provided for him, and just go out there and be just a beast.
It's freaky to drink 1,100 milligrams of caffeine every day.
That is that's
freak.
Well, that's not dog mentality, because dogs actually don't even need one stimulant at all. So that's more freaky that he's drinking that much caffeine.
Yeah, but he's definitely a dog.
He is a dog. Yeah, he is definitely
just relentless, motivated, physically and mentally tough. Those. I think Detroit in the last 3 years haven't lost back-to-back games because that's mental toughness.
That is.
How do you get kicked in the teeth? Okay. Everyone could be the winner.
Yeah.
How are you when you're the loser?
But I think he's a dude's dude as well. Like, that positive attitude. He's a locker room guy. He's kind of like, he's intense, but at the same time that he's intense, he's also calm and cool about being so intense, and bringing so much energy. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he's a spaz and all over the place. Like, it's under control, all of his energy.
He's got a little whiz in him because it's a complete unorthodox way of,
changing the culture of coaching,
Of coaching.
in ways, and
Not
the way to go about
completely
it.
changing,
No,
but just
going his ways about
going
it.
a little bit of his way about it.
Is he allowed to be a dude's dog because he's a coach, so he's allowed to be two? Because he's a player and coach.
And he's
So-
always got a positive attitude.
Oh my gosh.
Somewhat.
Has the rankings changed for once because he was a player and now he's a head coach, so he's allowed to be two?
He's a
allowed
dude's
to be,
dog.
Yeah, he's a dude's dog.
Yeah, he's definitely a dude's dog.
He's a dude's because he's a dog, and he's a dude's dude.
Every dude
while he
loves
was
him to
playing.
lock. I'm pretty sure
and
every
as
guy.
a coach.
I've seen him cry after a loss.
Yeah.
Didn't he cry after the loss last year in the playoffs after the 1 seed? I think because he cared so much about the team. And real dogs will cry over comrades. All dogs go to heaven.
Yes, they do. And,
All right.
And he's going to heaven. He's
going
a
to
great
heaven.
dude.
Let's get into the Chillest Dude of the Week, brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and celebrate responsibly.
Jules, crack a beer with me, a Coors Light, Colas the Rockies.
Always.
Let's celebrate the chillest dude of the week. Whew, that was a little burp right there. Sorry about that, folks. Delicious, chilled. That's what I'm talking about. And with it being, hey, everyone, obviously I've been talking about it already on this show, but with it being National Tight Ends Day, we're going to be answering questions about the tight end position. Ooh,
let's get into it. I'm not a tight end, but I'll get into
a little
it.
freaky.
I'm going to ask you
what
the
I mean?
questions.
All right, you ask me the questions. I give the answers presented by Coors Light. Here we go, Jules.
Who are the best blocking tight ends of all time?
Ooh, who are some of the best blocking tight ends of all time? That's a great question, and that's a tough question because it's so easy to name the best receiving tight ends because that's all the glory. It's in the papers. It's all the highlights. But I'm going to go with our guy, Dan Campbell, who we just reviewed. That's why he played 10 years in the league. Current guy, George Kittle. He's so good at blocking as well as being a pass catcher, the most complete tight end in the game right now. Mike Ditka, he was fierce out there. And I'm going to give you one more. I'm going to go with myself as well. I love blocking. I took pride in it, so I'm going to put myself up there as a fourth guy.
Perfect. All right. Well, what's an underrated trait the best tight ends have?
There's an underrated trait, but it's becoming more popular now, is that tight ends have the most fun on the football field, that we bring the most joy to the game. I mean, you see George Kittle play. You see Travis Kelce play. Myself playing. Every time, Jules, you talk about, Rob would catch a ball up the middle, and he'd be laughing and grinning.
He would.
And yes, there we go. See, there's evidence. I'm not lying here, folks. There's evidence to this proof that we have the best personalities as well. We got to do both. So you got to have great personalities.
You want to know why?
Why is that?
It's because linemen are the greatest group of dudes on the team, and skill dudes are usually the cool dudes. They're hybrids, so they're the nicest, coolest dudes with the funnest group, but they're half that, but also part cool.
That is why.
All
right. That is 100% correct again, Jules. Thank you for explaining that to everyone. I was wondering why us tight ends were so cool too.
That's exactly.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Are there any young tight ends whose game you've been loving?
Yes. He's a rookie right now. I'm going to go. I know you know who it is, so I kind of want to switch it up on you now and say someone else. But I'm going to go with him still. Ty Warren. He's doing a great job for the Indianapolis Colts. He's been phenomenal this year.
Great with the ball in his hands.
And he's been scoring touchdowns. He's been Gronk spiking it as well. And Gronk spikes with his left hand.
Lefty.
I mean, I got to grade him last week. There's a new thing now. It's the Gronk spike scale on Fox on Sundays, and Ty Warren was the first guy I got the Gronk spike, and he got an extra point because he Gronk spiked lefty.
What if he's a lefty?
You're just getting a +1 every time because he's a lefty, and you never really see a Gronk spike lefty. So if you spike lefty too, and if you're not, it's always +1 now. I make the rules, and no one else can change the rules. Rules are rules. So Ty Warren, that's all we got to talk about is only him. We don't need to talk about any other young tight ends right now. We know Brock Bowers is great, but we're talking.
Banged up.
He's been banged up. Ty Warren is the real deal right now. He's my favorite young buck.
All right. Who's gonna have the best day on National Tight End Day?
Oh,
the best statistical day for out of all the tight ends on National Tight End Day.
Here we go. I'm gonna go with the Green Bay Packers tight end Tucker Kraft.
You're going Tucker Kraft.
Yes, I'm going Tucker Kraft because he goes off every once in a while. And this is the time he needs to go off because I'm predicting him to go off for National Tight Ends Day. They didn't really have that great of an offensive game last week. So I think that since they didn't have a great offensive game, that Jordan Love and the Tucker Kraft connection is going to go off. I don't even know who they're playing. I'm just saying Tucker Kraft is going to come through. He has big games every once in a while. He's a hard-nosed player. He really is. He's a true tight end. He loves blocking. He has grit. He's hard to take down once he gets the ball in his hands. So I'm going with an under-the-radar guy, Tucker Kraft, to put up the most statistics on National Tight End Day.
I like that. And then lastly, I've always been kind of curious because I never had the big size, speed, or hand size of you.
Yeah, I got big hands, Jules. I was just born with them, so you
Who
don't
would
gotta
you-
be jealous of something that I was just born with.
I know, but who would you rather be covered by? A safety, a corner, or a linebacker?
Well, I'm covered by this Coors Light right now because it's in my mouth. It's covering my whole mouth.
Well, that's why it's the chill zone.
Yeah, it feels good because it's chill, and I was sweating in here because Dan Campbell had so much caffeine that I started sweating for him. This Coors Light is chilling me out right now. Oh, what was the question again?
Who would you rather be covered by as an elite tight end?
Oh,
A safety, a corner, or a linebacker?
this is situational here. I mean, when you got a legit linebacker who knows how to cover, I'd rather get covered by a safety who is less legit. A corner I would say would be the hardest because they can always stay up on me. But a tall corner was super, super tough. A small corner, even though they're faster, I can use my size in my body. A linebacker I can usually always run by, but then every once in a while, there's a linebacker that is actually athletic enough to cover me, and that makes it tough because he's bigger. And when they can cover you, I can't use my size because then they have size. So I loved when a safety came down who was kind of slower as a safety, a slower cover safety. So if it's a linebacker who's fast and athletic with size, don't like. A corner that's more tall, I don't care if they're small. I can bully them. If they're tall and they're more built stronger, those are tough on me. And then safeties, kind of like there's, they're usually slower. That's why they're playing safety.
Tough.
They can't really.
Tough for safeties.
Yeah, that's tough for safeties to cover. So, but if in the end,
In space, they're not good.
out of anyone, I would have to draw up who I would love to be covered by is when a defensive end drops and has to cover me. That was my favorite. I got open every single time.
Rob Ninkovich.
Yep, like Rob Ninkovich.
Perfect.
Like
perfect.
I want to be who I was without Rob Ninkovich. Ask him. I was 100% completion rate against him in training camp my second year, and that's where I got like this confidence up. And like it was great. I thank him, and he even takes credit for my career as well because of that.
We appreciate you, Ninko.
But he did knock my head off in the run game like 50 times.
We appreciate you,
But
Ninko.
my head's still on, so he actually technically didn't knock it off.
So he didn't knock it off.
Yeah.
You need to knock it off. And that was the Chillest Dude of the week. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes and always celebrate responsibly. That was, wow, another fun episode of Dudes on Dudes tight end. National Tight Ends Day edition.
I can't wait to see you celebrating this week, Julian.
Oh, my God.
That's going to be so fun because I'm not even on Fox this weekend, and you're going to have to celebrate for me now.
I know.
Yeah, thank you.
So everyone go out and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a dude you want us to do. And remember, rate and review.
Call in and ask us a question on the chill line at 561-203-5789. And remember to follow Dudes on Dudes on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, and Discord. We will see you all next week. Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.